Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing this morning? Uh-oh. Okay. Ow. So, if you're wondering why I'm late, me being in pain while reaching down to pick up something off the ground is the key to it. See, I did this thing this morning called getting a shower. And after getting a shower, I went to dry my hair. And when you dry your hair, you get your towel and you put it over your head and you dry your hair. I know the hair's thinning, but there's still hair there. And somehow I pulled a muscle or pinched a nerve, like that goes like from like here up to like this area. And I can't turn my head. So I can look to the right, I can look up, but looking down and looking to the left, that's about all I got for looking to the left. Looking to the right, I'm good, but to the left, nope. So we're just gonna make do with what we got today. We are just gonna make do with what we got today. Hopefully, if all goes well, today's stream shouldn't actually involve a lot of work. We have to do, we're following the instructions, and the instructions basically say at this point we should be doing a test print with one tool head to make sure the printer prints printingly. Okay, use your core. I know, driving home from dropping the little guy off at school today, I'm like doing this to like look both ways while I'm driving the car. I'm really hoping this goes away. Because we're doing an IKEA trip tomorrow to pick up some, like a new bed set. And yeah, it's a 3-hour drive to IKEA, picking up everything, loading it in the car. It's my wife's car we're taking, which I don't like driving it as much as my Crosstrek. It drives like a boat. It's a Ford Escape. It's weird driving a car that was made like, even like 10 years ago compared to something much newer, how much more nimble modern cars are. But anyways, so we gotta drive up to IKEA, buy a whole bed set, put that in a car, drive it home and put it together. So I'm really hoping the neck is okay by tomorrow. But right now, oh, it is not happy. It is not happy fun time adventures. We are gonna have happy fun time adventures though, because every stream we give away a spool of polymaker filament. If you want to win that spool of polymaker filament, you can enter for your chance, link below. While you're down there, don't forget to like the smash button, ring the bell, subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you're wondering what we're doing today on the stream, this is our stealth changer, okay? As it is right now, it powers up, it doesn't error out. The clipper configs are relatively okay and happy, but we haven't done any setup for like docking, undocking, switching tool heads, and we still have a mechanical issue, okay? We still have a mechanical issue. And that mechanical issue is this. See how it pops up? It doesn't quite go back down, okay? So we gotta figure out why it's doing this. Because since this is a stealth changer, it basically uses tap. It uses the fact that the tool heads can come up off their mount, because that's how you swap between the tools. It uses that for your Z switch. So it's supposed to hit the bed, okay, break the switch, and then it's supposed to pop back down. But there's a little bit of stiction there. So we have to figure out why we're getting the stiction. why it's not working well. So what I'm going to do is actually unhook this one. The printer is off right now, so I don't need to worry about that. So the printer is powered down. So we can unplug all of this and get this out of the way. But essentially, we need to figure out why this doesn't want to move freely, okay? That is the whole point, is figure out today why this doesn't want to move freely. Then after that, what we can do is we can do a QGL, because this thing needs a QGL. We can do a QGL. We can do a PID of this tool head. We can do a quick input shape tune, and then we can do a test print. And then hopefully if that's all good, then we can figure out why all the other tools are still having the same issue. So there's 3 points of contact on this. 1, 2, and 3. You can see it better on the other side. There's 3 pins, okay? 2 on the top, 1 on the bottom. There's our optical end stop right there by my thumb. So obviously something isn't happy here. Something is not lining up the way we want it to line up. Something is just not happy, and we need to figure that out. So first things first, there are some adjustment points in here in regards to screws. So I'm going to tighten these screws down, and then I'm going to get my shim out, and then we're going to start adjusting these with shim. Now I do believe I can take these off. Are these easy to take off? 2 screws there, 2 screws there. So I should be able to remove this relatively easily if I need to. Let's remove this dock. First, let's adjust the position of these. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to adjust the position of these little 2 adjustable screws just to see what we're getting, because it's that last little bit. It's this last little bit. Can I measure the pins? I mean, I could. I could get like, you know, don't really have the right tools for this, but I can measure like inner pin to inner pin, which is approximately 31.02 millimeters and change. And then we can go over here, measure inner to inner, which is like 30.92. So we're looking at like a 0.1, we're looking at like a 0.1 millimeter difference at most. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take the dock off. I think these do come off relatively easy. I think it's just 4 screws, and then that can give us some wiggle room to adjust some stuff here. So we'll unscrew you. Is that the carriage and end stop mod friction? Yeah, I'm thinking it's just I may need to play with the pins or something. There's something in the system that is too tight. And I don't know what I'm thinking could be. It could be a moisture thing, because I think we had this all working when the parts were fresh, but they've been sitting out here for a couple months since I printed these parts, and my garage has gone from a cold garage in the winter of Canada to a still chilly but not as cold garage, but now much more humidity garage in Canada in the spring. So I'm wondering, oh no, those go in too. Oh shoot, I gotta take out a lot more. There's a lot more that holds this in. There's a lot more that holds this together, shoot. Because there's those 2, and then I believe we also have behind these set screws, there's 2. One set screw out. Oop. Uh-oh. Come on. One set screw. Two set screw. Now I should be able to reach in here. Haha. I'm gonna do this guy. Thanks for the work. Cheers, Kato. Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay, you don't want to come out. Why don't you want to come out? Come on out. Tweezers. Not being able to bend your neck is super weird. There we go. Wow, this GST is tight. Tight, tight, like a tiger. Okay. So, here is our docking mechanism. So, in a perfect world, the fact that you came with that is not good. Oh, I see how you just kind of slide on top of that. Make that work. Okay. So, we can see here, it is, yeah, that is too tight. So something is off with the alignment on here. So let's go ahead and loosen these screws, because we have these little screws that hold everything in place. We'll just loosen these screws and let our nuts be free. Let's see if this adjusts anything. Yeah, it's still, like, it's still, I was hoping the magnets would be enough, but that is really tight. So the question is, how can I make these loosey-goosey? Try pulling them out maybe. And reseating them. So if I take one pin out, let's see. Okay, well. It's a bit better. It's a bit better. Okay, let's see. Let's try something here. Let's try taking this out. Could be dirt in the carriage section. I mean, pins, the bushings are clean. Like, I checked the bushings. The bushings are clean. Could they use a little bit of lube? Maybe. I could put a little bit of lube in the bushings. See if that helps. Like, I don't feel any burrs on anything. Yeah. Okay, so what if we do this? What if we do this? So. Okay, that one's good. So let's try. Do you have any don't really have any oil. I should have some white lithium spray somewhere. I should have some white lithium grease somewhere. Where would I have put that? I should have a thin white lithium grease. Let me see if I can find that. Where did I put that? It's on the other side of the garage here. It's probably on the other side of the garage. Yes, I think. The dark side of the garage. Where are you? Brake cleaner, white lithium grease. There you are. There you are. Of course, it's in a spot that's hard to reach now that I got a paint booth back here. Move. Oh no, oh no, oh no, I dropped something. That's heavy. I'm holding something heavy. There we go, okay. So, got that. Let me go run and grab some Q-tips. So I can just I just want to put a little grease in this bush. Give me 1 second, 1 second. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I've returned. I've returned from whence I came. Okay. So we got white lithium grease. It's white lithium. It's white lithium grease. It's just WD-40 brand. Now, I'm putting an extremely thin coat. I don't want to put too much because I don't want it to be like gumming it up. I'm basically just kind of wetting it. Just that way there's like ever so slight amount. If anything, I'm cleaning it too because those are a bit dirty. Okay. There we go. Get rid of any excess. So it's just enough to kind of wet it. Nothing crazy, but just enough to wet it. And that definitely feels a lot more slippery. Specialist, yeah. High performance white lithium grease. WD-40 is the brand. Not all WD-40 branded products are WD-40. Rub for a pencil for graphite. I mean, that is a valid thing that I have done in the past, but I don't think that would work in our use case here. So the next thing I can try doing is floating these pins ever so slightly in here. So I need my M3 screw. Ow, ow, ow. M3 drill bit, M3 clearance drill bit. There you go, M3 clearance drill bit. Worst comes to worst, I can always reprint this, so. There we go. Now, unfortunately, due to the design of this thing, I can't ream it. That was another idea I had, was, you know, ream the pockets that these printed parts go into, or these pins go into, just to ensure, because it's like the idea is float it, drop it in, tighten it all down so it locates to the home on that. But I don't know if I actually can do that. So the next thing I can do is get these kind of started, put them in, and then tighten it after and see if that helps a bit with this. So what's everyone up to on tonight? What's everyone up to this afternoon? What's everyone up to this morning? It's Friday. Long weekend, heck yeah. It's the May 2-4 weekend, even though May 2-4 is like, it's so weird that this weekend's the May 2-4 weekend, because you would think it'd be next weekend, with it being, you know, next weekend, next Monday's May 2-4, but it's this weekend's May 2-4. And if you don't know what May 2-4 is, it's Victoria Day, I think? I don't know. Okay, so now if we tighten these while they're in here, hopefully it locates. How much you want to bet I'm not actually tightening them? Because they just keep spinning once you get up to the top. Yeah. Okay, so here's the question. Is it any better now? No. It's too tight. It's too tight. Okay, so what can we do here? Okay, let's see what we have here. Do I have leftover pins or something alternative for this? Because I cannot get this to lock in the way it is supposed to lock in. Backplate pin. Let's try these guys. Try these guys, see if these guys help. Because I have different size pins in here. Let's see, maybe some of these pins are slightly smoother or thinner or something. Let's try something else. Let's try some different pins. Patriots Day in Quebec, yeah. Oh, I put the alert in the wrong channel. Yeah, whatever. Stealth changer, troubleshooting. Common issue, measure, they should be 39. So we may have to reprint. Okay, so let me try some slightly different pins here. So I think I have some shorter pins. I don't think these are shorter pins. So these are 3.97 millimeter ID by What do we got for length? 12 millimeters long. What do we got for the rest of these? 4, 13, 13, 13. So these are the shortest ones. Okay. So let's install this. I hope I don't have to reprint these. I really hope I don't have to reprint these carriages. That would be annoying. It's Clee day. Good old Clee. Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm so used to printing Voron parts where everything is pre-configured for shrinkage, right? So it's nice not having to worry about shrinkage. But these technically aren't Voron parts. So it's like, yeah. Yeah, that's way too tight. Way too tight. I mean, it says it's supposed to be 39, and I'm getting 38.96. So, yeah, 39. I'm getting 39. Like, so, zero it out. 0. Yeah, 38.98. Yeah, so I'm tolerance there. It's correct. What about at the very top? 38.86. 39 there. Yeah, no, they're good. They're good. Maybe it's this maybe it's the bottom pin that's causing it. Maybe it's all this bottom pin's fault. Oh, how much you want to bet it's the bottom one? Because these top ones going pretty... Oh, yeah. It might be the bottom pin. Okay, let me try... floating this. Ow. Oh, 4mm reamer. Right, 4 millimeters. Yes. So I think it's the middle pin here. The added end stop parts? It is not. It is not. Those parts are out of the way. At least they should be. I checked them when I put them in. Okay, so let's see. So I floated this a bit. Okay, that is... That is good there. Okay. Okay, I think we're good there. So now, I need my feeler gauge. So at this point, everyone pull out their feeler gauges. You have feeler gauges, right? Everyone has feeler gauges? Trying to do this. Okay, so 0.28 millimeter of extraction. That feels right. That feels right. Hard to see, it's hard to see. That one's still floaty. Yep, they're still floaty. Okay. You have to push plastic? No, if all goes well, we'll be doing that today. Right now, we're sorting out why it wasn't docking and undocking properly. Because we need to ensure that this moves in and out real smooth. See how it moves nice and smooth now? See how smooth that is? So now we're just verifying that our end stops for this, where the magnets fit in and they touch the screws, are as close as possible. So that way we actually have a solid locking condition for maximum rigidity. Check the other heads. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to do all the other heads. I know that. I'm well aware I'm gonna have to do all the other heads. I'm well aware of that. I think that's contact in there. That's too much contact, I think. Yeah, that's too much contact there. Andrew, $10. Cheers and appreciated. Sorry for the keep you waiting. You can start now fund. Oh, we have been started. There we go. That is where I'm happy with, right there. Right there. Okay, so now we can put this whole tool head back together, mount it on the printer, do a QGL, do a PID tune, do an input shape, make sure we're all happy with everything, and then do a print. And your Rogers gifted 5 community memberships. Cheers and appreciated. Oh no, shoot. Actually, maybe if I get these started. So for those that care about those sort of things, we just finished Mass Effect 2 on Twitch. I've been doing a playthrough of Mass Effect, the Legendary Edition on Twitch over the past couple weeks. We just finished Mass Effect 2. So we will be starting Mass Effect 3 probably maybe Sunday, if not Monday. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in watching, follow me on Twitch, Nero3D on Twitch. I stream in the mornings usually when the little guy's at school and it's just me at home. So that sounds like a happy, fun time adventure, which it is. We're having a good time playing that game. Make sure you follow along. No forbidden romance. Tally is not a forbidden romance. When the game was new, everyone was simping for Liara the Blueberry. And as time went on, people matured and realized that Tally is best girl. Okay, why can't I get this one screw in, really? Why don't you want to go in? Oh, Joker and Normandy. Well, people say love your job, right? Am I missing something here? Oh, the nut fell out. That will do it. There we go. Stuff screws in better when you actually have the screws in place for it to screw in, screwingly or something. Okay, so now we put these little hexes back in. These grub screws, and this is just to help the magnets up top at the dock. Go. That means that should lock in there. Yep, we're good there. Put our end stop back in here. Okay, so now this should, again, freely move up and down. Okay, that should be good. Plug it in, plug it in. Plug you in. Plug you in. I need a zip tie. So now we know the fix. Now we know what the fix is. The fix is adjust the bottom pin. The fix is to adjust the bottom pin, float the bottom pin ever so slightly, and we should be okay. So now, let's power this printer on and see if we can do a proper QGL finally. So we should be able to do a proper QGL now. Hopefully. Hopefully. While that does that, I'm gonna have a drink of Gamer Subs. Use code Canuck, save some money. What was the issue? There's 3 pins, 2 at the top, 1 at the bottom, and they both slide into bushings for locking the tool head in position. And what seems to happen is the 2 in the top were fine. The 1 in the bottom was out of alignment ever so slightly. It could be the printed part. It could be, you know, when I installed the pin, it cocked it a little bit. But to fix it, what I did was I drilled out the hole for the screw so that it was ever so slightly oversized, so it allowed the screw to kind of wander a little bit. And then also where the pin slides into the printed part, it's a tight fit, right? It's like a press fit, or as much of a press fit as you can have with plastic. I reamed it out using a reamer to exactly 4 millimeters so that there's a little bit more clearance. So I allowed it to basically find its home and then dropped it in and then tightened it, and it seems to be okay. So what's QGL? Quad gantry leveling. This printer, why aren't you connecting to the internet? Try again. Raspberry Pi, my IP address is that. Pi login. Complete socket interaction for boot final config. It's completed socket interaction for boot final. Okay. I don't know why I'm not getting Helix screen is going. Failed to validate. Helix screen is being a bit of a butt right now. Well, CPU's doing stuff. Okay, so we're gonna let that do that. That's weird. Anyways, if you're wondering what QGL, this printer, the bed is fixed. The gantry moves up and down, which means there's 4 Z motors. So because there's 4 Z motors, you need to tram out your gantry to the bed before you print. So it's called quad gantry leveling. So it goes around, measures Z at each point, and then it does math, and it levels everything out. So you decided to hit the update. You know what? I hit the update button on Helix screen at the end of last stream, and that broke it. I shouldn't have hit the update button. Never hit the update button. Never hit the update button. The dumps the bed. Are you talking the Vertigo? I think Steve is building one. I kind of personally don't have any need for a printer like that. I don't do any print farming stuff. So if I were to build that printer, it would just be this for the sake of building the printer on stream. I probably wouldn't use it a bunch because I don't do any print farm stuff. So So now we're letting all that install. Build, sell, profit. You would be surprised. Years ago, I did the math, okay? At one point, I kind of had this idea in my head that since you can't buy Vorons, what I would do is build Vorons and sell them. It would be kind of like a boutique printer market. What I would do is I would get like, the idea was I would hit up like LDO or a kit supplier, see if I could get a bulk discount on kits. Say like, oh, if I buy 10 V0 kits, okay, what would be the bulk price on 10 V0 kits, right? So basically buy a bunch of kits bulk and then build printers that were kind of bespoke. So every printer I built would have a different color scheme, would be like, everything would kind of be one-offs, and then I would put them on the site as they get done in batches of 5 or 10 and just sell them for whatever, right? The problem is, I did the math, and it's like, even if you're building like a V0 in a day, well, I don't want to be paid minimum wage, which in Canada is like $15 an hour. So let's say, you know, $25 an hour, Canadian. Okay, I probably want a little bit more than that because I can't sell that much. It's not like I can work consistently 40 hours a week, $25 an hour, and then that, and then sell the printers consistently. So it's like, okay, so even at say $25 an hour labor, 10 hours to build each printer. So that's $500 in labor costs to build the printer, right? $25 an hour, or no, wait, no, that's $300 in labor, right? Calculator, $25 an hour times 10 hours of labor, $250, yeah, $250, why am I thinking that? So $250 in labor, plus the cost of the kit, plus the printed parts. You're basically paying like whatever the cost of a V0 kit would be, you'd be paying like double that. Plus shipping, plus handling. Muted. There we go. We're back. Sorry, I coughed and I hit the mute button. I forgot to hit unmute. Do this quicker. Do the update quicker. So yeah, building a V0 and selling it for profit and actually making it a viable thing. I'd be looking at selling the kits for like, how much is a Voron V0 kit? Voron LDO. So like Sparta 3D, you know, where's like Illustrator? Here we go. Yeah, you're looking at like $650. So you were probably looking at 13 to 15. You were probably looking around $1,500 buying a V0 if you wanted to buy like a boutique built V0 that was worth my time to build it. So the problem is, ain't nobody's buying $1,500 V0s. So that's the problem. That's what I ran into. Yeah. On Facebook, people can't finish the build, so I do it for them for a flat fee. You'd be surprised what people are willing to pay to not do work. I know, but the problem is, this was at the time when there was no real competition in the market for enclosed Core XYs. Then Bamboo came out, and now everyone can just go to, you know, Micro Center and buy a $300 enclosed Core XY. How much is a Centauri Carbon now? So it basically, like, the fact that printers got good cheaply, quickly, kind of killed my idea of building boutique custom printers. Because it would be kind of cool to, you know, assembly line build stuff like, you know, the Micron, right? So it would be kind of cool if I could like sell these, you know, Microns or something for a profit and make it an actual business where every printer you buy has a slightly different color scheme. They're like, you know, it'd be a thing. The problem is, the market of people who want a Voron usually want to build their own Voron. They don't want it built for them. And people who just want to buy a printer will just go buy a cheaper commercial printer. So the market for boutique custom 3D printers isn't that big, unfortunately. Oh, okay, it's actually going fast now. So. So someone would want, well, the idea is, I am waiting on it to show up. We will be building a baby belt. We're gonna print a baby belt printer. I'm gonna hang it up in the wall somewhere, and we're gonna print really dumb shit with it. Like the longest 3D printed chain. Can you swing from a tree on a 3D printed chain? I don't know. Let's find out. Like that kind of shit. Give it a try. The problem is, I really don't want to be on the hook for shipping somebody a $2,000 printer and it getting all effed up in transit and then being responsible for that. Or dealing with customer service. Because here's the thing, I am not a licensed business for selling. Okay, I don't have any sales business experience. I don't know what kind of licensing I need in Canada to sell the stuff. And then if I sell stuff, I have to do it legitly. So that means I have to collect taxes and duties and deal with taxes on that shit. It's not like, oh, I went to a printer fair, you know, a maker fair, and I kind of sold some printers under the table for cash, and we all kind of just moved on with our lives. If I have a website and I'm listing stuff, now I got to collect taxes. Now I got to deal with taxes when I go to do my taxes at the end of the year, like, 'cause sales taxes suck. Yeah, shipping in Canada isn't cheap. I shipped my brother. My brother wanted some stuff printed for his wife's garden. These little, like, stick in the ground things with, like, they look like little Gothic arches. They were really cool. So I printed them for him and I mailed it to him. My brother lives in Ottawa. It's a 9-hour drive from me. And I just went into the Canada Post and, you know, I need the ship. It was a box. It was a filament box. It's a filament box filled with plastic parts. And I'm like, ship this to my brother in Ottawa. And they're like, cool, $25. That's for a little box. Imagine shipping one of these. So, oh, we're at 90%. Come on. Calculate the Chinese labor rate. The Chinese labor rate is not as much, or is not as low as you think. People think China's cheap. China isn't really that cheap anymore. In terms of, like, the people working at factories in China are making much more money than they used to make, and more than you think. That's why, like, China is now outsourcing to, like, India and Africa. Because China, the standards of living have gone up so much. China isn't that cheap anymore. Like, the cost of an iPhone in China is the same cost as an iPhone here. And people in China have iPhones. So ergo, you know, the cost of living has gone up. Yes, there are some really poor areas of China still, don't get me wrong. But if you're living in one of the big cities, your wages are very livable, right? And I talked to somebody working at a McDonald's who by themselves was able to afford a single room apartment. Working at McDonald's in Shenzhen. There ain't nobody in LA, San Francisco, New York, San Diego, you know, Miami, any other big American city working at a McDonald's and by themselves able to afford an apartment in the city. But in Shenzhen, that's norm. So cost of living is much lower there too for, like, food and residents. It's things in China are subsidized. So the factory you're working at, the land was given to them by the government. The government basically, like, a good example of when I worked in the mold industry, we would get plates from China. Okay, we used to manufacture our own plates, top, bottom plates, ejector plates, whatnot. So these are plates of steel up to, we're talking like plates as big as like 4 foot by 8 foot by like 5 inches thick of steel, okay, tool steel. And we would get these plates from China, blanch ground, to within specs, like a couple thou deviation over the entire plate, holes all drilled in it, pipes and water lines drilled in it, all that shit. We would get that stuff shipped to us from China, ready to go on a mold, all machined, all cleaned up, ready to go on a mold, cheaper than we could buy the raw steel here in Canada. Okay, so there's an issue with Helix screen. What's going on with Helix screen here? Soft recovery. Let's try that. Nothing's happening. Let's try a reboot. Let's try a reboot. So it was like I asked a project manager. I asked a project manager at work. I'm like, how are we able to buy fully machined, ready to go plates from China cheaper than we can just get even the raw steel here? How is it viable? And he told me, he's like, what our suppliers in China told us when I asked them the same thing. They're like, we charge whatever we need to charge to get the sale. And then whatever we need to actually balance the books, the government just tops us up. So they have an employee who's not really an employee, they're a government rep who's in the factory, whose job is to go, okay, so for, you know, the cost of, you know, running the factory and paying your employees, you need to sell this for $800. But to get that sale, you sold it for $600. So the government's gonna, you know, throw in an extra 200. So now it's balanced. That's just kind of how it works over there, apparently. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, Helix screen is straight up borked and I can't do a soft recovery. I guess we're not using Helix screen. But anyways, okay. We'll try and play with Helix screen later. But right now we're trying to get this printing. So, home all. That's a proper home. That is a proper home. Okay, what's my tool offset? 0. We'll do that later. QGL. Speeds are very slow. They're all default speeds. Also, the positioning is way off. We are too close to the front of the bed for the first numbers, and we are too far from the back of the bed for these numbers. So we're not squared up here at all. Yeah, so we're gonna have to play around with our offsets. A lot of flex on the tool head. The tool head is literally coming off rails. That's supposed to do that. I mean, as long as it's repeatable. That first number is off. Is it doing the thing where it's like one number off for all of them? Yeah, 0.15, we're trying to get 0.0075. Yeah, I hit the update button on Helix screen and then I turned the printer off without looking at it after. So I don't know if it failed to finish installing because I turned it off because I forgot that I was updating it, or if I was supposed to hit something or what, but there we go. I mean, it's tolerance within 0.0075 millimeters in 3 runs. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But we do have to adjust some stuff here because our pro points for QGL is, yeah. Oh, that's why. Because our pro points are still set up for there we go. That's okay there. So we can move our pro points back. So let's do 300. Save that, save and restart. But where is our offset? Because I'm wondering if we got to adjust our offset. Param safe Y, close Y. Where would offset be for the probe? Where would the offset be? Homing, rebound. Tool offset, G code. Bed mesh. It's in the tool head file. Like in here? Hot end fan, extruder, tool T0. Probe. Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. Z offset. So I need to set, so right now is it assuming there is no offset? Yeah, we're using tap. We're using tap. Change the tools, we're using tap. So there's our Z offset, but where's our XY offset? Because Y there'll be no offset, but there should be an X offset, right? There should be an X offset, right? Because right now, when I do QGL, it is tap shouldn't have X offsets. Okay. Oh, you're right, it is tapped, so there shouldn't be any XY offset. So let me just do a QGL here and see what's, so 5025, okay. Okay, so we should be good then. So it's saying 255. Oh, I adjusted the wrong values. Yeah, I adjusted the wrong values there. That's why. Okay. Go back here, printer.cfg. Probe, or not probe, QGL. Quad gantry level, there we go. Okay. So this is XY. Yeah, that's why. Okay, so these were 280, 280. $280. Save and restart. I got my X and my Y. So this is the problem. I'm looking at the printer from its side. So my brain is rotating the X and Y because I'm looking at the printer from the side. So I know this is Y and this is X, but I'm looking at it this way going, this is Y, that's X. Because I'm looking at it from the side. Also, I'm going to change my little probe variable here for tolerancing because 0.0075 is a little too much. So let's just go to 0.01. 0.01. Nope, still. Okay, it was 0.0075 in. Oh, 0.00875, and you're trying to get 0.0075. It's off by 0.001. Seriously? 0.02. Yeah, it's... I have one rattling bearing somewhere. There we go. I'm going to be doing it again. Okay, so let's try this. Printer.cfg. Quad gantry level, so let's just double check. 0.01 to 0.015. There we go. Save and restart. 0.015. Okay, so now these new coordinates should be... I just switched from tab to beacon. I could put a beacon on this. The problem is wiring up a beacon would be a bit annoying because you would have to figure out how to attach the beacon to the tool instead of the dock or the carriage. Because right now we're doing XY on the carriage, which is easy. But if we wanted to add a Z probe to the carriage, then the carriage has to have wiring going to it now. Because right now, the carriage is completely inert. There's no wires going to it. So if we wanted to add a Z switch to that thing, like a beacon, we would have to do that. Or we'd have to mount a beacon to one of these tools and then change the dock so that there's clearance for the beacon on the dock, which I don't know if is a thing. So there's a reason tap just kind of works, because it's just all of them do tap. Easy peasy. Okay, let's do another QGL. So home all. The bed off. The bed is freaking filthy. There we go. So this should be a lot more agreeable with the QGL. I should probably bump these speeds up a bit too, but whatever. There's like a loose nut in here somewhere rattling, and I don't know where it's at. There we go. The beacon attacks to the edge carriage using an original drag chain. Yeah, so you still have to use a drag chain, which I'm trying to avoid. We're trying to keep this setup as simple and clean as possible. I'm a big fan of just keeping things simple on printers like this. So. Builds a printer with a stealth changer. We're trying to keep the stealth changer as simple as possible. And you making me do that. Oh, ow. Oh, ow, ow, ow. Ow, 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 ow. Ooh, well, that's a cool video. The Artemis 2 capsule undocking before re-entry. That's cool. I love the fact that we have nice high definition 4K videos with high frame rate from space now. It's so nice. This is not a very repeatable Z probe. Like, it's close. It's just very... It likes dancing around the zero, it seems. Yeah, I could do the standard deviation thing. Yeah, so that's 0.078 millimeters. AV1 encoding drama? No. No. But after this, we are going to go do a quick wee little input shape. And then we'll do a PID of the hot end, and then we'll do a print. Because the instructions do say to do one normal print, just to make sure everything is working, before you go ahead and do a set up all the multiple tool heads. So. Hurry up and finish. Come on, you can do this. I believe in you. Do this correctly. I believe in you. It's not that fast. This is actually really slow. Yeah, 0.0. Yeah, we are not getting within tolerancing. Let me try something here. Go down to QGL. Retry tolerance, max adjust, speed. Is the speed in here, is this the Z speed? Is this the Z speed here? In quad gantry level, or is this the XY speed? I can set the probe samples to 1, yeah. That's horizontal. This is XY speed? Okay, so let's bump that up a bit. Yeah, this is how much it moves up and down when traveling, which that's fine. Be under stepper Z. Okay, so let's save that there. So we'll bump that up to 150. Stepper Z for homing. 8. Let's bump that up to 10. Save that. Second homing speed, we'll do 5. Okay. Save and restart. Now, where would be the... Yeah, probe sample. Where is sample? That would be in tool changer, tools, tool 0, tool probe 0, sample 1. Save and restart. Okay, let's try this now. Home all. I think I can bump my XY homing up too. Gasps the camera. It already had a camera in it. It's not a great camera. It just kind of sits here in the corner, and it's one of those cheap laptop cameras with a generic mount I found online. But it's good enough. Okay, then we do QGL. There we go. .075. We're trying to get .015. Tight are the belts. The belts are tight. What do we got now? .013. Okay, we're good. We're good there. Let us go home all again. Let's heat this bed up to 60. Heat the hot end up to 180. Okay, heat the bed up to 180. And then we got to do our Z offset. Is it weird? I tried an update last stream and it kind of broke Helix screen. So I might, probably not today because I really don't care. But what I'll probably do is just uninstall Helix screen and reinstall it because I think the update broke it. So, what's the command to do my Z offset again, to calibrate my Z offset? Probe calibrate, that's what it is, yeah. Oop, nope, cancel. Probe underscore calibrate, that's what it is. Okay, so we're just letting this get up to temperature. Oh my God, it really needs a PID tune. That really needs a PID tune. That really needs a PID tune. We'll do that after we get this probe calibrated. Okay, I need a piece of paper. I smell burning. That's okay. I'm supposed to smell burning. Where is paper? I need a piece of paper. Oh, here we go, paper. I used to have this really fancy piece of paper that a company gave me. Probe, calibrate. There we go. Probe calibrate is done. Shouldn't the temp be 150? It could be whatever. It's just the closer the closer you get the nozzle, the temperature you actually print out, the more accurate it'll be. I just heat it to 180 because it's hot enough that it shouldn't ooze if there is any like ABS in the nozzle. And it should be enough that it's expanded. Because normally this printer, I don't know if it's going to be printing a lot of PLA or ABS or whatever. But yeah. What is, okay, verify heaters, verify fans, and stop check, we're good there. XY homing's good, bed location, define 00, we're ignoring that. We've done that, probe check. PID the hot end. Okay, let's PID this hot end. So, let's move up 25 millimeters. Let's have our bed at 60. Let's have our part cooling fan. We'll do the part cooling fan at just kind of 50 for now. Okay. Because I don't know if it's going to be printing a lot of ABS or ASA or whatever, so we'll just have, or you know what, we'll do 60. Part cooling fan at 60. There we go. Okay, let's PID tune our hot end. I forgot to turn the bed on. I never turned the bed on. Oh, that's why I smelled burning. I was heating up the wrong tool for that offset. I was heating up tool 1 instead of, I was heating up this tool, not this tool. I'm a big dummy. That's why I smelled burning. What's my enclosure plans for it? We'll figure it out because I got to get custom panels because it's an oddball size. I have some panels that may work, but as of now, I don't have any real paneling for this. That's a future tailored problem because it's an oddball size frame. Oh, you know what it is? These are tubes. They all have thermal compound on them. That's what I'm smelling. I'm smelling the thermal compound. I'm smelling the thermal compound cooking on the first heat up. Okay, so now we are PID tuning that. There's no point in trying to heat that up. PID tuning our hot end. And the oil from the manufacturing, yep. And then don't forget, if you haven't entered yet for your chance to win some Polymaker filament, link in the video description, enter for your chance while you're down there. And then also, don't forget, if you haven't, join the Discord. We have a channel on the Discord called Look What I Printed. Every month, the last Friday of the month, we go through this channel and we look at all the stuff you've been working on and printing and whatever over the last month or so. So we're halfway through the month, so this is your reminder to post something in this channel if you haven't yet. Because the more stuff you guys share in this channel, the more cool stuff we have to look at on that stream. So make sure you enter. Where did I get the panels? I don't know. Most of my panels just come with kits. I have ordered from Tap Plastic in the past, but it was stupid expensive to get it to Canada. My V2 number 26, the one in the basement, has Tap Plastic panels because I got them all tinted. But that was way too expensive, and that was pre-COVID pricing. So I don't even want to know what they are now. But yeah, that is something. That is something I got to figure out. Previously, you want to know what I had for this printer before? I had a random piece of plexiglass or acrylic from Home Depot that happened to be the right size for the front panel, but it was like 2 inches too tall. And then the side panels were just, I think I threw it all out. They were just Coroplast. If you're looking for a cheap material to enclose your printers that you can work on home easy, Coroplast. It kind of sucks on bigger printers because it deforms from the heat, but it's cheap enough to work. So if you're looking for something to enclose your printer, look at Coroplast. So, yeah, Michaels has cheap Coroplast. Yep, that's what this used to be enclosed with. And I'll probably have to get some because I gotta fill in some gaps on the side here. I've got gaps around the outside here I gotta enclose because we're using a 300 bottom panel on a 330. It's all oddball size. I'm gonna have to put a panel across this. I'm gonna have to put a panel across this, but I can't until we figure out where the position of these go, because this may move. We have the top hat, which I think I actually do have a piece. I do have one panel for the top hat that works. So. Bought a 4x8. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it sucks because like Home Depot in the States, like hardware stores in the States carry so much. For the Venture XL, when I enclose the Venture XL with polycyanoacetate, polycyano, whatever the foam I used for it, which I used because Luke from Luke's Lab recommended it. Oh, I use this foam to enclose my high temp printers, so I used it for the Venture XL. I had to get it special ordered to a local, none of my local stores carried it, so I had to get it special ordered. But he's like, oh yeah, I just go to like, you know, Menards and they just have it in stock. And it's like, no, we don't have that. I have to get it custom ordered. Okay, so, oh, that's right, you can't. Okay, so you have to manually enter your PIDs. So tool 0. Okay, so KP is that. The key is that. And the craft dinner is that. Save and restart. So now I think we should be able to print. We should be able to print. Let me get some filament in a box, in a bin, and we'll do some printing. Do I have a filament spool holder? Ah, my neck. Why did I look that way? Why did I look that way? I screwed up, guys. I looked in a direction and I kinked my neck. This sucks. Getting old sucks. I've got the one there. Where's the other one? Where's my other spool holder box? I don't know where it went. Huh. Where'd I put it? Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Although I know what filament we're going to use, because for some reason I got filament sent to me. Let's use this. Where is it? We will go with green. We'll use this. Might as well use this because I don't. Generic filament. That's generically generic. For some reason, FlashForge sent me some filament. I didn't even know they had my address, but they do, and they sent me some filament. Because yesterday, my wife gets home at like 2 in the morning or at midnight from work, and she's like, "There's a package outside." I'm like, "Why is there a package outside?" She's like, "I don't know. There's a package outside." So I go outside to look, and there's a box, and it's got all Chinese writing on it, and it says "Mom Cozy M5," and I did a quick Google Translate, and it was like a breast pump for like lactating women. And I'm like, I didn't order this. And my wife's like, I didn't order this. I'm like, I hope you didn't order it. You better not be pregnant. So what happened was I opened up the box and it's just 4 boxes of FlashForge filament. I'm like, okay, thank you, I guess. So this is FlashForge high-speed PLA. We'll find out how good it works, I guess. Oh yeah, they did send me an adventure a while ago. That is true. Oh, you know why? Let me check my email. 1 second. Let me check my email. Let me check my emails. This might be part of... Yeah, they're sending me a printer. That's why. FlashForge is sending me a printer. And that's what I got the shipping notification. So this is the filament that they're sending for me to print with the printer, I guess. Oh yeah, input shape. Let's do an input shape. Let's do an input shape. Oh, I get this all set up. Shipment was handed over to transport. Yeah. Oh wait, no, this is the shipping info from... Prague. Okay, well, apparently Cruise is sending me something too. Okay. It's always fun when I get shipping notifications and I don't know what's going on. It's like, what's this? What's this? What's this? Anyone who built a printer, self-sourced a printer on their own back in the day. Shaper, calibrate. What do you mean shaper, calibrate? Shaper. Shaper. Calibrate. Unknown command, shaper, calibrate. Am I missing something? It should just be shaper, calibrate, right? For the unless I'm supposed to run input shaper slightly differently on these printers. But yeah, remember back in the day, self-sourcing your own printer and you had like 20 different orders from AliExpress that were all shipping independently. And it was like, it was kind of like a mystery box every time you opened up your email or your postal box. And you're like, ooh, what filament what do we get today? There we go. So unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, we have super long Bowden tubes on this, and I don't want to cut them yet. So, I'm just going to have super long Bowden tubes. There's going to be a lot of friction on this tool head. Actually, I should probably heat it up too. Let's heat it up to 220. Okay, let's move you up. Heat you to 60. Okay, which Bowden tube is this? This is a really long Bowden tube. The tube of bow here is very long. Oh, don't tangle. I've tangled it already. Okay, so let's see, extrude, 50 millimeters of filament, extrude. Okay, extruder is going the wrong way. Machine. Direction pin, save and restart. $220. Oh, it's biting it. Filament is going in. Oh, We splooge in plastic. The printer is officially, it's a printer. It is officially a 3D printer. We are extruding plastic. Okay, turn that hot end off. Extrude another 50. Turn the bed on. Fire up Orca Slicer. Do a 5mm retract. Ah! That's really hot. That was really hot. Okay, Orca Slicer. Foolish mortal. Hot plastic is hot. I know. We're just gonna print a quick Voron cube. Prepare. So, tall boy. Oh, we still have tall boy in here. Okay, which should be 330 by 330. Yeah, 330, 330. We're just gonna tell it a max height of 210 for now, because that's what a, yeah. There we go. Okay. Generic PLA. Add primitive. Voron cube. So this is how I did it before. I told it I had a 330 bed, but I used the graphic for the Voron 300 bed. So I just knew whenever I put a model on here, just don't put it outside of that and it would be fine. So that way I could print things that were bigger than the bed on here if they curved upwards, which actually was quite handy. Why not Dino Clip? Because this is a quick, easy print. So we're printing standard Voron, speed, settings, whatever. Just good enough for now. Let's actually do 3 skirts. 3 layers. There we go. Support G-code. Save. So unfortunately, because I started late, because I completely effed up my neck, which made, we're getting a new bed set. So we've been cleaning out the bedroom, getting rid of a bunch of shit. It is amazing how much stuff you accumulate under your bed as a married couple over like a decade. When you use like under the bed storage for like, oh, this is where we're gonna put all those family photos that we haven't looked at in 20 years. Let's just throw them under the bed. I found stuff that's like, when did we throw this out? Or when did we lose this? Okay. Also found out our bed frame was completely jacked and broken. So we really needed to get a new bed. So we're going to IKEA tomorrow to buy a bed. So. Oh, okay, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. Emergency stop. Why was it heating up tool 3? Why was it heating up tool 3? Why was it heating up tool 3? Multi-material. Maybe I have to tell it to now use T1. Maybe that's it. Okay, save. Disable chamber exhaust fans and filament setting. There shouldn't be any chamber or exhaust fans. Yeah, there's no there is no auxiliary part fan or chamber fans. That can go much higher. Objects list. Yeah, okay, so now it's doing one. I added 4 extruders and told it it's extruder 1. So hopefully that saves it. Okay, so let's try this now. Let's try this now. No, it's heating up tool 3. Why are you heating up tool 3? I only added the filament. How do I tell it it's multi-materials? Oh, that's why. 4 extruders. There we go. Tall boy SB. Oh, did we crash it? We crashed Orca Slicer, guys. Okay. And I did not mean to close that. Shoot. Okay. Orca Slicer. No, we got it all worked out now. We got it all worked out now. Because they're all, each tool head is in its own macro file, or is in its own configuration. We just had to make sure we had the right USB IDs for each one. So now that that's done, they should all be the same. They should all be the same now. Multi-material, so we are that. We have number extruders 4. Okay, save. Tallboy SB. Orca doesn't like that. Yeah, Tallboy. Okay, let's just keep calling it Tallboy. What is going on here? Let's do that. Let me wipe down the bed. Okay, so that's Tallboy. Let's just save it as Tallboy _ SB. Okay, so Tallboy SB. Single nozzle multi-material. Okay. Yeah, I did. I went one head. I saved it. So prepare. Extruder. Multi-material. So, okay, we just have one extruder. Okay, cool. 0.4 nozzle. Okay, well, we'll just leave it like this. Okay. Generic PLA, system copy, add handy model, boron cube, other, 3 skirts, 3 high, slice plate, export G code, save that, load and print. So let's try this now. See how this works. Probably wipe this down. There's fingerprints all over this bed. I will put Vision Miner on it at some point, but for now, this is the bed off of Pantheon, by the way, if you're wondering. Okay, so heat up extruder 1. Nope, it's still heating up extruder 3. Why are you heating up extruder 3? Look at this starting G code. And that, print start. Machine. Home all axes, absolute positioning, move nozzle away from bed. That's all the print start macro is. The G code should mention the thing. Extruder equals, bed equals. Yeah, maybe there's something in the documentation. Existing configs. Updating slicers. There we go. Slicers. Okay, temperatures. Prime towers. Slicer differences. Slicer G codes. Okay. Orca. Start G code. Okay, so copy this. So, depending on the slicer's provenance, the internal macros can differ. It's important to translate the variables and clippers. So in this case, we go in here. Okay. Then multi-material. Pre-tool change G code. Oh wait, no, that's Cura. Yeah, so that one, Orca Slicer. Let me make sure I have the Orca Slicer one. There we go, Orca Slicer start G code. There we go, okay, save. Okay, slice plate, export G code, save, save. Okay, so I didn't adjust anything in there. Upload and print. I mean, we're going to be doing the giveaway soon, so whatever we don't, well, tomorrow night we'll just do more faffing around. I think Orca is bugged. I had to set it to 4 tool heads on multiple different printers and crashes every single time. Does anyone else have the same issue? It could be a bug in Orca. It could be a bug in Orca. I mean, we're just trying to print with 1 tool head right now. We're just trying to verify that the printer functionally functions. Oh. Okay, it may have changed. Yeah, it's an Orca bug. Okay. So it's homing now. See what we get here. I use Prusa Slicer for tool changer. We may switch over to Prusa Slicer. Like we if we need to, we'll switch over to Prusa Slicer. I just wanted to get at least 1 print out of it, just to verify that the printer is functional before we start doing any really big faffing around with it. Well, it's apparently doing QGL, then it's going to heat up, I guess. Let's see if we can get the needs a beacon. Yeah, the tap probe is not the greatest. It's a little inconsistent. There we go. Okay, so home again. If this doesn't work, we're going to call it anyways. This is our last attempt at it because we gotta do the giveaway. So if you haven't entered for your chance to win some Polymaker filament, link in the video description. While you're down there, don't forget to like the smash button, ring the bell, subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you want to help support the channel, the content I create, and the things I do, consider becoming a channel member, a Patreon supporter, or if you're really cool, gifting memberships to others. Extruder not hot enough. Okay, so unfortunately, we're gonna call it there in terms of attempts, because it is just, we'll try with Prusa Slicer. We'll try with Prusa Slicer tomorrow, because Orca is giving me bugs with multiple tool heads, and it's not heating up properly, and it's not doing the callouts right. So we'll try with Prusa Slicer tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, so tomorrow night we'll try Prusa Slicer. Tomorrow night's stream, I don't know what kind of condition I'm gonna be in, because I gotta drive to IKEA and back tomorrow, so that's 6 hours of driving, 3 there, 3 back. I have an IKEA 40 minutes from my house, and I have to drive to an IKEA 3 hours away. That sucks. Especially with gas being like almost $1.90 a liter. Ugh. Ugh. Ah. And handle the tool head. I don't know. We'll go through it all tomorrow. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to check it now. So we'll faff around with it tomorrow. Okay, who wants to do a giveaway? Who wants to do a giveaway? Why the 3 hour away? Because the one that's 40 minutes away is in the States. There's one in Detroit, or just outside of Detroit. The problem with the one outside of Detroit, so I go in there, I buy whatever, I have to pay for it with, exchange rate. So we have the exchange rate. And then on top of that, I have to pay American taxes on it. So American sales tax on it. So I buy it all there. And then, I don't know about you, sneaking it back an entire bed frame assembly from Costco across the border and not declaring it to customs probably isn't the sneakiest thing in the world, and I don't think would go over well. So that means I then also have to pay Canadian taxes on it. So I have to pay import, I have to pay taxes and duties, and I have to pay taxes for 2 countries. IKEA ships, they do. It would cost $150 to ship it down. It would cost $150 to get it delivered to our house, versus we drive up and get it. Now, there's also some other stuff that I want to do up there. I like going to IKEA every now and then, just look around, buy some stuff for the kitchen, some other house stuff. I can't really do that online. You can't browse an IKEA online the same way you do when you walk around the store. So, yeah. That's the cost of gas. Yes, but then I don't get to wander around in IKEA. Plus, we want to visit the Mech while we're up there. A mountain. It's like the Canadian equivalent of REI. The Marble game froze. Marble game froze. Close window. Let's try this again. Close window. Frickin' Windows. Task manager. You want to be like that? You want to be that way? You want to be that way? Yeah, and I can get some IKEA Swedish meatballs. Plus I need to buy some stuff for the index build, because I have to get some IKEA imagery for the index build. I got IKEA stickers, maybe. How many people do we have? Clear, open. 194. Okay. Oh no, I've got a cough. Hopefully I don't have the hentai virus or whatever it's called. Who's this guy? Who's this guy? Okay, how this works is if you win, you get a free spool of filament from Polymaker, but if I pick your ball and you win, you also get a free hat. This one right up here, who is that? Chad 3D Printing. Chad 3D Printing. Chad 3D. Shit, I don't know, whatever. If you win, you get a free hat. Good luck. Exclamation mark zoom zoom makes your ball go faster. Exclamation mark gullible makes everyone else go slower. Like the smash button, ring the bell, be subscribed to the channel. It'll grease your ball up and make it go 10 times faster. Totally for real, for real. No capping. Okay, I'm gonna turn the printer off now. So tomorrow we'll get Helix screen fixed and then we'll try Prusa slicer. Still using Windows. Only on the computers I stream on, simply for the fact that there's just Windows is better for streaming with encoders and whatnot, and what is like yeah, I stream. Don't get me wrong, I stream games from my desktop too, which is running Linux. Oh, Music Man with the snipe and the win. Wow, wow. I'm assuming you got launched. Yeah, you got launched there and you managed to snipe it. Good job, Music Man. No Mass Effect 3 stream tomorrow. If we do start it this weekend, it'll be Sunday. I got to drive to IKEA and back tomorrow. It's a 6-hour drive. So I won't be getting home till late afternoon. And then I got to do this stream tomorrow. So if we do a stream, it'll be Sunday. If not Monday, we'll start Mass Effect 3. So congratulations, Music Man. Let me see if I can find you here. MS. Or is it supposed to be Muse Man? Like Juice Man? Muse Man? I don't know. I'm going to call you Music Man, though. Okay, congratulations. You have won yourself a spool of filament from Polymaker. You'll get an email from me after the stream ends with information on how to collect your filament. Yay! Golf claps in chat. Golf claps in chat. It's MUS Iceman. What? Is that like a school? I'm calling him Music Man. That sounds cooler than MUS Iceman. That don't make sense. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. Compose, there's that. Sent. Copy that. Copy that. Michigan State University. Ew. MSU. Ew. Michigan State. Ew. I get it though. I get it. I have to drive across Denver when I go, but I get fish tacos nearby. Nice. Yeah, there's also, we do want to check out the MEC, which is the Canadian equivalent of REI, like camping stuff. I do want to check that out while we're up there. There's also there's something else I want to do while we're up there. My wife wants to, I can't remember. So there's, we're going to justify the trip. Plus it gets us out of the house for the day, which is fine. I don't mind driving. I like driving. It's weird. I like driving. I like doing long drives. I am perfectly fine with it. The only thing that sucks is it won't fit in my Crosstrek. What we're picking up, the bed frame, won't fit in my Crosstrek. So we have to take my wife's Escape, which it's a 2017 Ford Escape. I forgot how much those things drive like a boat. It drives so heavy. I drove it the other day. The doors are heavy. The car just drives heavy compared to my little agile drive-by-wire Crosstrek. The Ford Escape is like, but it's got more room in the back, so we need it. Getting the black lung. Okay, so we'll call it there. If all goes well tomorrow, hopefully we can get this printing. Tomorrow, on the checklist for what we have to do tomorrow, we have to fix Helix screen because it decided to break on an update. And then if all goes well, we should be able to do our first print on this. We'll try Prusa slicer. Apparently Orca slicer is being a bit buggy right now with tool changers. Because for some reason it keeps hitting up toolhead 3 instead of toolhead 0. I don't know why. But if all goes well tomorrow, we should be able to push some plastic on this. Not like you're heading to yeah, we're heading to the one in Burlington. So it's exactly a 3-hour drive from my house. So it's not too bad. Let's drive up the 401. It's Saturday, which is going to suck because it's a long weekend Saturday here in Ontario. But yeah, it should be fine. So we're going to call it there. I do want to give a shout out to LDO Motors. They provided the components for the Stealth Changer upgrade to this Voron. If you are interested in getting that, check them out. Link in the description below to your local LDO reseller. Also, huge shout out to Polymaker for the spool of filament we gave away this stream and every stream. Links to them and more in the description below. Some of them, like the Gamer Subs link, use code Canuck, save some money. And for those that donate to the channel, gifted memberships to others, or became members of the channel yourself, I thank you for not being able to do the things I do, create the content I create. Without your continued support, you make it all possible. I'm Taylor Canuck Creator. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe out there. Wash your hands, and I will see you in the future. Goodbye.